Hey Goal Digger, Kimberly Olson back for another episode of Get Lit, where we crush your business in less than 10 minutes. For today's episode, we're going to talk about how to manifest anything you want in your life and to achieve your goals. Because as the Goal Digger, it's my job to teach you exactly what I've done to create the life that I envision for myself. So stay tuned, because we're going to dig into the who, what, when to manifest whatever you want in your life. So when it comes to manifestation, a lot of people think, manifestation is just like wishing your way into what you want. Now there is some reasoning to that. I understand with the intention part about it, and we'll talk about that. But what's actually most important is how you get in alignment with what you want on a day-to-day basis. This is what people miss when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, vision boards even. It's not enough to create the vision board or set the New Year's resolution. It's actually more important what you do every day to nurture that goal that you've created for yourself, or that dream that you've planted in your heart, is more important by nurturing it with the day-to-day, okay? So the first thing you want to do with manifestation is you want to get really clear on what you want. And you want to think about what you want to have, be, or do, right? What do you want to have in your life? What do you want to be? What do you want to do, right? Like be a great mom, be an author, be a leader, be a millionaire. Like there's all of these different things that we get to claim for ourselves when we start to think about the magical goodness that this world has to offer. We start to see that it really is a playground. And the more that we play with it and keep it light and not get bogged down in the day-to-day stressors and also our current reality, we can actually attract what we want into our lives. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get really clear on what we want. This is why the vision boards are important. This is why writing down your goals is important. All of those different things that you're thinking of right now. Okay, so yes, you do want to do those things. You want to write them down. You want to create the vision board. You want to claim it for your life. Get clear in the vision. Our subconscious mind was just running in the background, and it's a huge, huge part of what we're creating in our lives. It needs a roadmap. It thinks in pictures, and it needs that. And it also gives it a roadmap of what to go after, okay? Then, after we've claimed that for ourselves, we've created it, and everything is created twice. Remember that? Bob Proctor talked about that. Always, he was teaching that. It's thought everything is created twice. Once in our mind, and then once in our physical reality. So whatever it is that you want, you have to remember you've got to create it mentally first. And in order for you to create it mentally, it means it's in existence, which is really powerful. Now, after you've done that, what you want to do is you want to get to work on the day-to-day. So of course you want to put an action plan into place. So if you want to launch coaching, for example, well, what do you need to do to get to work? You need to figure out your personal brand. You need to build your online presence. You need to establish yourself as an authority, right? As a coach. You need to create some kind of nurture sequence and a place to contain your prospects, nurture them, come up with an offer. How are you going to launch it? And then what's the actual offer? So it's not enough to think, I want to be a coach, and then sit there and meditate all day long, right? Like it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. But what we're actually going to do is we're actually going to take action on that, okay? So all those goals, just look at them and say, okay, these are all coming into my life. I'm so excited for these to come. Have joyful expectation, but do prioritize. Do look at your goals and the things that you have written down for yourself or put on your vision board, and remind yourself that you don't have to get all of this at once. You don't have to go after all of it at once or put an action plan together for all of it at once, or you will get overwhelmed and you will think, forget it, I can't do this whole goal setting thing. And then you're just going to go back to your normal routine, right? And you're going to just not feel very passionate or excited about your life. And you probably need some excitement if you're watching this video. So prioritize, like what's the first thing you want to create, then the next, and then the next. Make action plans for each of those. And then every day you want to take a step closer to your goal. So if your goal was to lose 50 pounds, as someone who is 40 pounds overweight in my early 20s, I know exactly what it feels like to be overweight and want to lose weight. It wasn't until I actually joined a gym, I learned how to use the fitness equipment because I'd never done that before. And then I also got a nutritionist and learned about eating properly. Then things started happening for me. But I had to, in a day-to-day capacity, I had to work out. I had to obviously get accountability because left to my own devices, I was eating Pop-Tarts. And then I had to learn about, nutrition and how it impacted my body. But it was the day-to-day of me going to the gym. It was the day-to-day of me making better decisions with my food that allowed me to lose that 40 pounds. So you can do the same thing when it comes to manifestation, as you obviously have your goal, you have your action plan, and then you're going to take small steps every day to move you to that goal. I think sometimes when we see people that are successful, we think that they just lucked out, they have good genes, or, the opportunity was, at the right time, right place. That is not true. Okay. It's when, opportunity meets hard work. That's when amazing things happen. And so you do need to work hard. Okay. You can get in alignment, which I'm going to talk about next, and turbocharge how fast things happen. You can also hire a coach, which I highly recommend that you hire a coach if you don't have one. I obviously have a coach, so definitely reach out. But when you hire a coach who's already done what you want, you compress time. Okay. So you're going to learn. It took me 4 years to make $5 million. Well, the students that I work with, my goal is to make it compress time for them so they can make that money faster. That's what compressing time is. Learning from someone who's already done what you want. That's how we turbocharge our results. And the final piece of this is getting into alignment. So when we put these goals in place and we say, okay, great, my action plan is, maybe you want to get out of debt. So your action plan is your budget. And you're like, okay, I'm going to stick to a budget. We're going to make sure that we're, saving money or not spending as much. And I'm also going to increase my income. Well, what people tend to do in the day-to-day is they pay attention to the money not coming. They pay attention to the bills, all the bills, right? Oh my gosh, every time I turn around, there's another bill in the mail. Notice what you're saying. If you get bills in the mail and you turn to your spouse and you're just like, another letter from the IRS, another bill I didn't know about, that's actually creating more bills. Or if you say, gosh, I swear, no matter what we do, it seems like we never have enough money at the end of the month. Like, I don't know what we're doing wrong. You're going to continue to not have enough money at the end of the month. So getting in alignment every day is going to get the results quicker. So what this looks like is getting in alignment just means you are aligned energetically with what you want. Most people hang out down here. I learned this from my friend Raimi, below the line, right? Most people are stressed out, worried, depressed, anxious, angry, frustrated. This is all negative emotions below the line. You attract more of that into your life, okay? Above the line up here is all the good things: happiness, joy, gratitude, abundance, hope, all the good things. All the things you want are above the line. And so if you're down here, you can't attract what you want up here. It doesn't work that way. That's what the law of attraction is. It's a real law. It's a universal principle. So if you want the stuff up here, you have to get up there energetically. So in the morning, it's recalibration time. It's time to recalibrate. It's time to listen to music that pumps you up. It's time to journal. It's time to meditate. It's time to pray. It's time to, dance around in your office. Like, you got to get in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get in the zone and you get fired up, even if you don't feel like it, but you kind of make yourself, you will attract more of what you want into your life. And it's a snowball. We can have a snowball building of negative emotions and energy, or positive. Okay. So it's really up to you. And when you start to realize that everything that's happened in your life up until this point is your responsibility, then you get to take back control and not feel like a victim and not blame. You shift gears into co-creation. And when you shift into co-creation, you become a powerful, freaking magical unicorn that is a force to be reckoned with. And that is when the good-ish starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want you to work on. All right. If this is helpful, subscribe, click the like button, take a screenshot, throw it in your stories, and let me know you watched this so I can give you a shout out. I'd so appreciate it. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. We'll see you soon.